Hello and welcome to the Enspiral update video, November 2019. I'm your host and Enspiral catalyst, Jorian. If you're curious about Enspiral, but you don't know really what we do, how we operate, what are the actions, what are the verbs, what do we do, this is a video for you. This video is not about the big ideas around Enspiral, but about the day-by-day of Enspiral. We have a very similar update video series internally, and we decided to create this one externally. Just I need to cut a couple of personal information that I cannot share, but it's essentially the same video, folks. And this is here for you to understand really how do we work on a daily basis, which is something that a lot of people are curious about. So without further ado, let's get right to it. So there's two main energies, main discussions happening right now around Enspiral. The first one is that we are about to go into our assembly sprint. An assembly sprint, this is the broad strokes, all right? But an assembly sprint is a moment that we summon a lot of energy from the network to decide on the big things. Do we need a new agreement? Is there a project that really needs our attention? Do we need to change a project that we're doing, that we have been doing for years? This is the moment that we invite a lot of people, and we create the space for us to have far more hours than normally we would have of everybody's attention. So the assembly sprint at this point happens twice a year and lasts for about 2 weeks. We are preparing a document explaining everything about assembly sprints, so you can run your own assembly sprint, but for now it's not ready. I promise I will share it. I promise. We just don't have it ready yet. Sorry. But anyway, next month when it's done, I can let you know how it went. But just know that this is the moment for big changes. The second great big energy happening in Inspire right now is the Catalyst sponsorship program. Which finances me and things like this video. And we're not yet sustainable. Actually, Catalyst were financed in one way, and now they're financed in another completely different way, which is the sponsorship. So we're receiving donations from these people that you see on the screen, and this amazing company that you see on the screen as well. But we're not yet sustainable. We still need 1,600 New Zealand dollars every month just so we can exist. And of course, only existing is not really what we want. We want to expand. We believe that this catalyst energy, there's a lot of potential here. There's a lot of good work already happening and things that can still happen that we just don't have the energy to try. But first, it's here. We need to be sustainable, and even the existence of those videos, folks. If you like this video, please help us out. There's two ways that you can help out. The first one is a direct way, which is our Enspiral Patreon. When we got our two first Patreons, which is amazing, because this Patreon page is very recent. It has, what, maybe less than a month, maybe a little over a month, and it's just so nice to have the first people believing in us and putting this money here, just pinging this money every month. Thank you so much. I can't really show you the names of the patrons now, because if I click here on the admin page, I'll show their personal information, and nope. But their names will be at the end of the video. Thank you so much for your generosity, and if you also want to become a patron, all the links I'm going to talk about will be below, at least the ones that I can share and are not locked like the assembly sprint. Anyway, the links will be below. And the other way, if you're not in the financial position to donate, is just to put energy here. Add a comment, talk to your friend. If you see somebody posting, like the post, share the post, because if we find out that those videos and other catalyst actions have value, it really means a lot to stimulate our internal network to finance this project more and more. So those are the two things. Thanks very much for your collaboration and your contribution. But okay, from the network, what have we been talking about? What have we been writing about? What are the themes that have been in our heads? Lumio posted this. Lumio is our biggest venture. In case you don't know, it's a software to help big groups make decisions together. And this article here, I'm not sure if it was 100% written by John, but at least more than half written by John. It's about a type of decision called the advice process, which is very well explained here, even with cool images, everything step by step, very easy to understand. And let me point out that at the end of this video, there's an amazing video here with all the content here in video form, and it's a brilliant pacing. It's a piece of art. So if videos are your thing, just keep it to the bottom, because all the information, it's the same information, maybe a little more in the video, but just in another medium. Rich recently wrote about Extinction Rebellion, and not in a way that normally people write about Extinction Rebellion. He was mentioning one nasty thing that happened during one of the assemblies in London, and asked himself and the reader, is Extinction Rebellion still worth it, even with this sort of behavior? And he constructs his argument very well. It's yeah, just give it a look. Actually, Rich writes a lot about Extinction Rebellion, so if that's a theme that's interesting to you, you should check his work out. So if you watched our last video, you will know that Renato, one of our contributors, had serious trouble. His house almost caught fire, and it was a fire. It was not a natural forest fire. It was caused by someone. He saw the person who burned down his reforested area, and he asked many channels. He asked us, but he asked everyone if people could help him buy firefighting equipment, professional firefighting equipment. And I know this 23% here is not so optimistic, but this is just one of the channels in which he asked for help, and he did it. He bought a lot of stuff, and he's already digging the appropriate holes and doing all the things to protect his house. So this worked, and this is a big victory, and we're all with you, Renato, and just so glad that you have your equipment, and soon enough he's going to share a couple of photos with us. He just didn't have them ready when I asked him. Okay, let's go for requests and offers. What have we been offering these days? There's this, oh, if you're interested in the advice process, there's this decision-making webinar with the Lumio team, specifically John and Mary. It's for the 5th, that's tomorrow. Anyway, if you see this video, if you watch this video after the 5th, I'm sure there will be others, and I will point to you where to see it. But if that was interesting, this is another a point to connect to different styles of decisions, and these people, they're pros, so you will be able to ask them questions. It's great. And it's part of the Better Work Together Academy, which offers all sorts of Enspiral courses. Most of these people here are Inspirals or somehow connected to Enspiral. Things like full circle leadership and practical self-management. Some of the courses are just 1 hour, like this webinar. Some last months. So there's a little bit for all tastes. We have been organizing a new grants and prizes fund, so that we can apply to grants and prizes that we see out there that we could fit. This is the first time that we have a dedicated group and task force to do that. So if you know of any grants and prizes that Enspiral could apply to, we're trying to, for the first time, we're putting some hours into this. So send the link our way, and we're gonna give it a look. Unfortunately, I can't share this page with you because it's part of our internal video. Sorry. If you're confused about online security, Optimize is offering a new service, which is online security coaching, and it's both for individuals and also for teams, for companies, for everything. And they have, of course, different rates. It's all very well explained in this page here. And these people, they're computer wizards. They possess the arcane powers. So especially if you don't know where to start, this is a great way. Stephen is a guy who is involved in too many cool projects. I mean, just look at those logos here, from Enspiral to the Extinction Rebellion to the Psychedelic Society. He does a little bit of everything, and he created this personal website for himself. And I think the most important feature of this website is his curatorship, because yeah, there's thoughtful, brain-nurturing content here. There's articles, there's books, there's podcasts, there's everything. And he is trying to create a mastermind around all his work. If any of those logos are interesting to you, this is yeah, the really great curated content. This in turn inspired Rich to update his own personal website with all the things he writes, with all the services that he and his companies provide. And Rich writes a lot. I mean, you've seen the Extinction Rebellion article, right? If that was interesting, there's a lot of good material coming from Rich, not only written by him, but interviews, podcasts, and all that. Please give it a look. That, in turn, inspired me to update my own personal website. It's actually a freelance website. I never share this very much with much people, but here I talk about my content creation work, my community building, just like the one you see right here. I'm interested in getting feedback on this. I'm not very good at this sales bit, so please help me out. Help me out. Give it a look. Tell me what you think. And that's almost it for today's, folks. The only last thing is the moment of unzen. Just a little bit of context. It used to be the moment of zen, but then I took over this video project and I realized that I'm very bad at zen. I'm just not a zen person. I'm really not a zen person. And then I flipped it. And with that, I will leave you with a feeling that I think most, if not all humans, have experienced at least once in their lives. And it's very well summarized in this image here. Let it come. Let it illuminate your soul. Just let it do its magic. And with that, I leave you here. Thanks very much for your attention. If you think those videos are useful, please leave a comment here on YouTube or whatever media you saw it being shared. It's important for us to understand if you should carry on with this energy, if it's useful, if it's nice, if it helps you understand Enspiral. Okay, and I will see you next month. Ciao!